Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the playlist of Flask. And in this video what we are going to do is that we will first create HTML pages and then we will make a little bit functional application for our Flask. So in order to make our HTML, what we will do is that we will use something that is called Bootstrap Framework. If you are familiar with Bootstrap Framework, then it's okay. If you are not, then I recommend you guys to read the documentation of Bootstrap. So this is the documentation of Bootstrap. Its link will also be in the description. So here what we can see that there are different CSS available to us, but how we are going to start it is that we will copy this whole starter template, and let me just copy this real quick and then paste it in our base.html. And in our base.html, what I will do is that I will save this, and then let me show you guys the output of this. So you guys can see that we are having a very basic hello world HTML file over here, but we just want this HTML file, sorry, not the HTML file, we just want this hello world to have some spacing between the border and the text. So what we will do here is that we will just go to our h1 tag, and before our h1 tag we will define our div. And in div we will use class as container. Alright, let me just cut this and paste it inside this. Yeah, so what I will just refresh the page now. You can see that now we are having some sort of spacing because we have provided it inside a container. And if we go and inspect it, so you guys can see the space that is also left there as a container, that is having this orangish color. So what else we need something this hello world should have some space from top margin. So we will use something called empty, that is margin top, and we will specify that we want 3 spaces. So let's just save it and refresh the page again. You can see now we are having space above this hello world tag also. So now what I will do is that I will go to this Bootstrap and then I will just look for something called Navbar. And in this navbar, what I will do is that I will first of all select the type of navbar that I want. Maybe I will use something like this logo and text, and then home features, for our website it will have login and logout. So after that I will copy this code and do some changes in it, which I will be telling you. So after changing all the things, I will show it to you guys. So give me a while, and till then I'll be coding it. Alright, so we are having our base.html updated according to our needs. So let me just first show you guys what the output is looking like. Let me refresh the page, and as you can see that this navbar is having a logo, it is having a title, and we are currently in our home tab. We are having 2 other tabs, login and logout, that will take us to login and logout. And what else we are having here is something you can see that the block content and end block is just visible to us, and in the title also you can see something like block title and end block. So I will tell you guys this thing in a while, but till then let me just show you guys the code. So inside the title I have changed it something like this. This is a Jinja template basically. So in this we are having block, and we are specifying the block as title, and then we are ending that block. So with the syntax of basic Jinja, like curly braces and then modulus sign, and then closing it similarly. What else I have done, inside this I have changed the name and also provided the image for our Flask logo. And then inside other nav bars and other nav tabs, what I have done is that I have said home, and in our login and logout, what it is specifying /login and /logout to be the hyperlink, and login and logout to be the URL, whatever they are. And after that it is also having a search button, which is not having any functionality at the moment. Then we are inside our div class container m3, which was having h1 for that time in which hello world was written. And for this time what it is happening is that block content is written, and then we are providing end block. So whatever content will be specified, it will be passed inside this part, and whatever title will be specified will be passed in this part. And now what we are going to do is that let me just first show you guys our Flask also. So Flask is having let me just delete this import as well. Alright, so what we have done here is we have imported Flask and rendered a template. Then we have created Flask object, and then we have specified a root for our root basically. And then we have defined a function home, and then we are using index.html. Currently index.html is empty, but what we will do is that we will do something like we will extend our base HTML and provide the title and content for our home.html. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so here I am having index.html, and it is extending base.html. Then what we are specifying that in our block title we are calling it home page, and we are ending that block. And then in our second block we are specifying the h1 as heading 1 as home page, and then we are just saying p class display 4. That means it will display this in size 4. And hi, this is my first Flask page. So we haven't imported anything else. This base.html is having our whole navbar and everything. But if we just go to this navbar and open this, let me just show you this inside a normal browser, you can see that no HTML is coming like this. Nothing is particularly visible like this. So now what we will do is that we will run our Flask application. And to run our Flask application we can simply hit run, because it is having __ name, and we are providing it as main. So the lazy loading part will happen, and we will have our HTML page here. You can see that we are in our home page, and all of this content like this extend base.html is now happening, and we are able to see this dynamic web page which was not visible to us in our index.html. There isn't anything in login and logout, so we are getting 404 page not found for the time. What else we need? Yep. So now what I will do is that I will specify login and logout specifications, as well as make their web pages. So let me do all of that real quick. Alright, so now I have done all the changes in our login.html, and similarly like in our index.html, in our login.html, what I have specified here is that we are extending it. We are extending base.html, and then we are just providing the title to be login page, and then we are using form, action, and method as post. You can see that I have used paragraph tag and input tag, and if you want to use something in Bootstrap, I will show you guys how you can do that. Let's just go to Bootstrap, and let me just search for form. So you can see that form is just coming like this, and all of the content is available over here. So you can see that this is a very beautiful looking text field. So I will just take whatever class it is. So the class is form control. So I will form control and form text. So let me just take the form text. All right, let me just copy this, and I'm actually just experimenting with this at the time, so I also don't know that will this work or not. So I hope this should work. So let me save this, and now what we are having in our user.html, what we are specifying is that we are specifying hi, and then we are passing the name of whatever user will be logged in, and then we are not passing any paragraph here. Or let me just say welcome user, like inside welcome user, whatever user is, this username will not be changing. So let me save this and let's just go to our Flask app, in which I have already done everything. Let me just explain this. So in our Flask, what else thing we are importing? We are importing redirect. We are using URL for. We are rendering the template and request and sessions. Then we are also taking date time, as from our date time we are importing time delta, which basically tells us the difference between time. So what will be the use of this particularly time delta will be like, suppose we are saying that after 5 minutes of inactivity the user should log out, so this time delta will tell us when those 5 minutes will happen. All right, then we are making its Flask object and we are providing a secret key. This secret key is not used at the time, but when the time will be of password and hashing, we will use this. And then we are providing time delta to be 5 minutes and session, permanent session lifetime. In our home.html we are having nothing, like it is just gonna return us index.html. But in our login.html, what we are specifying, we are specifying the method as post and get, and in the post whenever the form will be filled and submit button will be clicked, so we will get something like session, and permanent will be true. That means it will be saved for 5 minutes. And then URL for nm, that will be our username, which we are specifying here name is equals to nm, will be taken as user. And this after that a session will be generated for the user, and then we will redirect it into the URL for users. And what is URL for users? It is nothing but basically it will take us to this URL, and this block of code will run. So if user is already logged in, what will happen is that it will directly send us into user.html. If session is already saved and user is already in session, it will redirect to us user. Else what will happen, it will return us login.html if above conditions are not fulfilled. And in our user./user root, what is happening, we are just checking that if user is already in a session, then we are just setting the session to be true, and passing the name as user, which is going to be used in our hi name, whatever name will be specified there. Else what will happen, that user is not logged in, so we have to just send him to login. What else we are having? We are having a logout function and /logout, which will just pop us that means pop the users out of the list of sessions, and then it will redirect us to the login page that you are already logged out. Now you need to log in into our web page. So let's just go to this web page, and you can see that this is very looking beautiful as it was supposed to. And now I will specify the name as Tanishka, and then hit submit. So it is saying hi Tanishka, and it is saying welcome user. If I go to home now, it is again saying me home page, but if I go to login, that means my session is already there and I don't need to log in again. So what will happen, it will just return me hi Tanishka, and if I go to log out, it will send me to the login page with the text field again. See, so this is how our whole Flask application is working. What else we will do, we will just see how message flashing works and flash some messages, and in the next video we will just start working on our project. So I'll do all the coding real quick and see you guys in a while. Alright, so to see message flashing, what I have done here is that below my navbar I have written some code that, let me just show it to you, that with messages is equals to get flashed message. This is a function defined in Flash. What it do, it just renders all of the messages that are passed, all the flashes that are given, and if any message is found, then this will be true. So we are having a class an unordered list, and then every message will get printed in a for loop with a container alert. This container is defined in our Bootstrap framework, and this dismiss just brings the X mark as well in it, and then it just passes message in it. So this part is there in our base.html, so I haven't written this in our index, login, or even user.html. So what it will do is that every time if there is any message, it will auto populate it. So let's just run this, and let's just go there. So you can see that now we are having hello to home page. Let me just exit it, and now let's just go to login, and I say Tanish Kuli, and then I say submit. Then see, it is saying me logged in, and if I say log out, it is showing me logged out, because this is how the code is written. I have just written flash logged out in logged out, and in users I haven't specified anything, because the first time only it is flashing us logged in, and every time in our home page it will just flash us welcome to home page. So yeah, that's it. All the basics part have been covered. This code will be available to you on GitHub. All the links will be in the description, definitely. And in the next video we will just start our project, and there are some things that we haven't discussed yet. So what I will do is that I will make that project in sort of modules, and while making all those modules we will see all the things that we have done. So yep, that's it for this video, and sorry for delaying this video. The last video that I recorded was not up to the mark, so I just thought that it would be better to reshoot it. So yep, that's it. Thank you so much. Stay safe and keep coding. See you guys in the next video.